welcome to Coffee with Kathleen. I hope you have your cup. And as you can see, I've already been drinking coffee today. So maybe this is my second cup. We'll see what happens. That could be a little wild for us. Before we get started, this is our sort of pre-Apex Coffee with Kathleen. And even though this is designed to be a leadership conversation in general, for my automotive friends, of course, Repair Pal is going to be at Apex as we always are. And we would love for you to come visit us at booth J7438. And I personally would love for you to attend my session. It's called Hire, H-I-R-E Ground, and it's about retention of talent. That session is going to be on Wednesday, November 1st at noon. So basically, I'm fine if you bring your lunch and learn a little bit more about employee retention and how to find and retain the very best talent. And speaking of talent, I have a great guest today. His name is Steven Fafel, and he is one of our partners. We are partnered currently with AutoOps, and he'll be talking to us about what the heck is AutoOps. And he'll also be sharing some really unique aspects of his leadership journey with us. So I am excited to welcome him today to the show.
Here we go. Kathleen, your cup is way bigger than mine. I just have a small
I know. This machine right here runs on caffeine. I mean, my name is almost caffeine.
It is very close to Kathleen. I have filled this one up multiple times, but so a bigger one would be much more efficient.
Yes, exactly. Then fewer trips back and forth, more time, grinding away
at the computer. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Super excited. It's been fun working with you on the Repair Pal side. But yeah, I've seen a couple of these episodes, and I like your knowledge outside of Repair Pal as well.
Well, thank you so much. And I love your energy and your enthusiasm for what you do. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what the heck is AutoOps?
Sure. Yeah. AutoOps is really the first company to focus solely on a fantastic online scheduling experience for customers to get into auto repair shops. And really our focus is, can we blend that fantastic experience for customers with a fantastic experience for the auto shops, which is really helping them save time through the integration with their shop management software and drive revenue in the scheduling experience. But yeah, we're one of the first people to kind of focus on that conversion point, saying, hey, there's marketing companies that do a great job at driving viewers. And really what we want to focus on is converting those viewers into customers at shop. So yeah, it's a newer company. We've been really on the market now for about 8 months, started building mid last year. But yeah, it's been a fun journey learning about auto shops. I personally, I haven't owned an auto shop or worked in an auto shop, so it's been a fun learning journey for me. We consider ourselves like Z level technicians. We all enjoy automotive repair, but our team is not necessarily the best at it.
Yeah, well, look, we've got to be good at what we're good at, right? And so I myself have never fixed a car either. And so I rely on our shop customers to tell me about that aspect of their job, as well as, what it's like to run a shop. And so then it's my job to do things that shops typically either can't or don't want to do for themselves, including, bringing partners into their world. Some of those partners are ones that refer business. Others, like you, are ones that help them to do other things related to managing their shop and converting and retaining their customers and so on, which is awesome. And of course, we're partnered across two dimensions. And so one is, I would just love for every shop in our network to sign up for this. It's transformed other industries. So if you think about, the ability to do real-time scheduling and what that's done for spas and massage parlors and haircuts and restaurants and all of that, then you come to understand what the possibilities are for auto repair, certainly, even though that's a more complicated transaction than sitting down for a meal, obviously. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited that we'll also be integrating you into our platform for our customers and our shops. So tell me how you got started in this, Steven.
You know what? I may be more honest on this than I've been with anyone before. I'm going to tell you the true secret. So My brother and I, yeah, I'm definitely on the younger side. I graduated college in 2021,
Were
and
you looking at your watch? Were you looking at a calendar or your?
I'm just handing out. I graduated 2021. I actually took a year off in college to go travel around, so I took a year off. But I graduated in 2021, and I went to school out in University of California, Santa Cruz. I actually took a job offer. If that company's listening, I'm sorry, but I took a job offer, and 2 weeks before I took it up in Silicon Valley. It was going to be for recruiting. It paid well, but it wasn't exactly what I was the most passionate about. And 2 weeks before, I messaged my brother, who is a world class software developer, and I said, "Let's build something." So at that time, I was and still am really passionate about rock climbing. And so we built an app for rock climbing gyms to help their members find partners, join clubs, see events. And the pitch was that it would help with membership retention. So sold that for a while. There's a lot fewer climbing gyms. I think there's 600 in the US versus 280,000 auto shops around the country. So after a while, that slowed down, but it was a great experience getting to just build something, especially with my brother, who's really good on the software side, and me focusing fully on the business development. So as that slowed down, moved back to Lancaster, we both went and worked at different startups. And my father at the time was at a company that did customer engagement with a piece of online scheduling in a different industry, in the home services industry. And here's the honest part: we were on vacation, and my father was like, "Hey guys, have you ever thought about like if what I could do could be helpful in automotive?" And my brother was like, I think that could help a lot of auto shops." And I said, "No." I said, "It already exists." No, I said, "No, I don't think it could be done." I was like, "It has already been done. There's already 100 companies that do this. I know online scheduling is super popular in every other industry, but I said, no, it already exists. I'm sure someone else is doing it." And that put me on a mission over the next 3 weeks to go prove to them that someone else is doing this. And what I found was that no one's really doing it. And that's how AutoOps began. I think it was about 3 weeks till I changed my tone. I was like, no, there's a real need here for, yeah, integrated, modern, intelligent online scheduling software. So that's the dirty little secret. Steven said no originally, and then quickly changed his tune. But yeah, so we have a lot of experience. Even my brother, during that time, we went and worked at startups. He worked at a company that focused on restaurant scheduling. So a lot of experience when it comes to online scheduling in our team, and it's been fun transferring that over to automotive.
Yeah, I mean, and a big challenge too, because of course, one thing that auto repair shops do have a lot of is there are a lot of shop management systems. So the integration across all these many different players that are in the market is one of your big challenges. But I think you all have done a very sort of pragmatic, and you've taken a great swath of those and integrated with them already. And I know you have even more plans to just continue integrating across all of those shop management systems. But I think that's been, part of the terrific success that you've created so far.
Yeah, luckily that is one of our team's probably strongest abilities, is on the integration side. So yeah, and it's also fun kind of building the relationships on that side, reaching out to companies and convincing them that you have a product that will make their product more stickier and add more value to their customers. And that's what we've had to do with a lot of the shop management softwares. We're happy that the shop management softwares have started to go in the cloud-based direction. That definitely makes our job easier. But yeah, we even work with some that are still on-premise solutions.
So tell me a little bit, other than co-founder, like what's your day-to-day role at the company?
Day-to-day role, yeah, in the beginning, it was kind of fun. For the first 6 months of the company, it was learn the automotive space inside and out. So that was meeting people like you guys, connecting with anyone I can, just talking to shop owners, whether it was in my area. So it was a lot of partnership development, being able to partner with people in the space who know a lot more than you. I'm never afraid to say, let's go talk to someone who knows way more about this than I am, and I try to learn as much as I can. So it's really partnership development for a long time. It then turned into sales for a little bit, as we felt we had a strong product that could make an impact in the market. We started selling. I think we're now in over 350 shops around the country. And yeah, so sales, and now it's, as we build out a little bit more of a team, I step back a little bit um, into the management side, but still pretty heavy on partnership development, focusing on sales and managing some of our team. It's been fun to oversee the work with our onboarding specialist. That's something I've kind of taken up, just make sure our onboarding processes are smooth and quick. And yeah, it's been fun working. We've kept most of our team in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is kind of crazy for
Yeah.
a town full of Amish people. We have one person not in the area, but we've managed to keep most of our team here.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So you have a local business that serves national businesses.
Yeah, I can't say there's many. So Lancaster is, yeah, a decently rural area. It's famous for having Amish people around it. But I even live in a smaller corner of Lancaster County called Quarryville, and I think I'm very able to say we're the only tech company out of out of Quarryville,
Yeah. Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Amish country is not what you think of when you think of tech innovation.
Not exactly. Yeah, I've been tempted over the years to move to one of these cities. It definitely, and I've go to events in those cities, and it's tempting. I think especially for my age, there are a lot of younger people um, who are building cool things, and it's sometimes difficult in Lancaster when I don't have a ton of those people my age around me building stuff, or almost anyone of any age building stuff in Lancaster. But it also helps me just stay grounded. This is yeah, my community is where I get a lot of my personality, motivation, things I enjoy, my friends and family all here. I think it keeps me down to earth. It's like I'm doing software stuff and then I'm out having a bonfire riding around on some four wheelers. So keeps me a little grounded.
Literally. Yeah. That's great. So tell me a little bit about, I mean, you've already transitioned several times at the company in terms of like what the company needs from you now. How do you make those decisions or how do you make those transitions as the company obviously evolves and grows?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And some of the things we're faced with, especially since we're growing pretty rapidly, is yeah, your skill set and maybe what you're best at is not always going to line up with what the company needs. At that point, it's also you don't get much time to figure out like what am I best at. You're just kind of thrown in these areas. So a lot of times, I think we try to have meetings with our team and say, okay, this is everything that needs to be done. We have some roles that no one is even known to be good at. Who wants to give a swing at it? So I think communication with your team and laying out everything that needs to be done, and just saying, hey, who thinks they can give the best go at this, and everyone being honest, saying, hey, this isn't in my wheelhouse. I'm not the world's best, at onboarding a new employee, but I'll give it a swing. So I think laying everything out in front of you, being willing to just tell your team, hey, listen, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a go, is usually the way we kind of divvy up responsibilities. A lot of people wearing a lot of hats. But yeah, the goal is we've now hired on 5 employees. And so the goal is that everyone gets back to doing what they're best at. But there's going to be times where you're doing things that you're not the best at or you're not the most experienced at. And especially being younger, I probably have more of those areas than other people. But I think if you're willing to listen and learn and try to talk to people who've been there before, uh, you can make it by.
Yeah, absolutely. So you brought the your age into the conversation a couple times. So let's talk about that. I was once also a younger leader, albeit not one that co-founded a company, which is, a pretty spectacular accomplishment for you at your age, and not just one company, but multiple companies. So obviously you have an entrepreneur streak in you that's pretty wide and pretty strong. But talk to me a little bit about what it's like to be a younger leader. Like, what are the advantages? What are some of the challenges that you face?
Yeah, well, I think one of the advantages right off the bat, and this isn't, I guess, all young people, it's predominantly more people, is that you have a lot less stressor sometimes in your life, which just allows me to be more flexible with my schedule. I don't have kids yet. I don't have a family. I don't own a house yet. And a lot of that can allow for flexibility and risk that is reasonably more difficult later in life. So whether it was taking, you know, pay that would be difficult if you had for family and kids, or whether it's I have crazy hours that if I had a family. So there's definitely some benefits that I try to take advantage of the flexibility I have now. And I probably won't always want to have the same schedule I have now. It's a little rambunctious and crazy. But so it definitely adds flexibility there. I think in working with other people, I will admit, I think I put myself in more of a box sometimes than other people do. I think all young people, you're working with people who've been doing things for 20 years, and some of it is reasonable of me thinking that, hey, these people know way more than I do, and some of the times they do, but those people, they trust you a lot more than you think. I think people can, especially people who have been in the industry for a while, can tell when people are capable. And I think all younger people should be more confident in their abilities. I think, especially with how much of a role technology plays in business of today, I do think younger people are maybe able to catch up to just certain parts of business quicker than it used to be, where the onboarding was a lot longer. Now it's, I think younger people just tend to pick up tech a little bit quicker these days, just because it's in the schooling and stuff. So I think that overall, I'm probably more concerned with it than people who interact with me are. I've had, I would say, 95% positive interactions. I've definitely have had some interactions where it's like, who can I talk to the boss? And you're like, okay, I kind of am. And I am not the CEO of the company, which the CEO does have a few more gray hairs than me. I can say that because it does happen to be my father. Um, but yeah, I think in those times you have to, for me, I try to parse out, is there actual benefit that someone older can give in the situation? And sometimes there is, and sometimes they're just pushing your buttons because they want to push your buttons. But I think being able to be gracious and understanding that it does make sense that working with someone who's younger is not always the most comfortable, but I think younger people should also be confident. You and most 99% of the people I work with have treated me with a lot of respect, which means a lot to me. And I think the biggest thing of being young is just being open to learn and saying, hey, listen, I know I don't know everything that's going on, but I'm open to learn and I'll stay up late at night to make it happen.
Yeah, look, and a lot of leaders or emerging leaders have, challenges in credibility. So anyone who is, female identified who's watching this has had a situation in which someone asked to speak to the boss when they were the boss. I used to work years ago in tech support, and I was a leader of a tech support team for an emerging internet company when the internet was new, which means that I'm no longer a young leader, but that's a separate issue. And so I would get on the phone, and I was also a level 3 tech, right, myself, as well as being the leader of the team. And so when the phones are busy, I would do overflow, and I'd answer the phone, and people would say, hey, honey, can you put one of the guys on the phone?
Yeah.
And so you would get that immediate response because they were expecting a tech to be male. And, they had this paradigm in their mind of what a technician sounded like, right? And so I would say, oh, sure, but they're all on the phone right now. So maybe I can try to help you in the meantime, and we can see if we can solve this problem, and then they would start telling me the problem. And then, of course, I would almost always have the solution. And then they would be therefore sort of in this very soft way, like educated about that, right? And so I think, it's the same thing for you. Once someone gets talking to you, they realize that you're very smart, very competent, super energetic, but also on the other hand, I find you to be really introspective and wise also. So you have this like sort of listening and ability to take things in, which actually, once you decide you know it all, actually that's the point in your life when you're the stupidest is sort of my opinion, right? Because now you're no longer taking things in and things are always changing. So
Yeah. And I think, and first of all, I think age is not as difficult to overcome as, yeah, I've seen, especially in automotive, there's times where females do not get the respect they deserve simply based on them being female, which is tough to see. We see it even on the onboarding side of things. We have now 2 female onboarding reps, and yeah, it's tough to see that. And I try to encourage everyone is, yeah, stand your ground. It doesn't have to be a super like blah, 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 but just, hey, I am competent to deal with your problem. This is who you're speaking to. So um, I think stand your ground as much as you can, but obviously if it comes to a point where it's getting really animosious, then make a different decision.
yeah. So, tell me a little bit about what it's like to work in a family business as well. Because now this is your second business venture with people that you're related to, right?
Correct. How honest am I going to be here? um, it is overall. It is good. I recommend working with family under a couple constraints. I think it's really helpful. We're all in pretty different parts of the business. For example, I still work with my brother. He's one of the co-founders. He does development. I have no idea what is going on with development. I'm not a coder. I don't tech. That whole world is not mine. And he doesn't kind of come into my world. My world's sales, talking with people. That's not really his mojo. So I think trying to separate business, if you are going to work with family, is definitely the move. Past that, and this is something that we definitely struggle with as a team, is creating the boundary between what is professional communication and what is personal communication. Um, I think attempting to draw strict boundaries on that is helpful. We don't always do the best of it. Sometimes you're at the dinner table on a Sunday, and all of a sudden business starts coming out. You're like, not the place. Um, but overall, I'd recommend it. It's people you trust. I mean, working with people you trust, I think, is the key. And if you have a good relationship with your family, I think it's really just easy to trust those people.
Yeah. So how do you think about, obviously integrating all the employees that you all now have that aren't related to you and making sure that they feel comfortable inside of a family dynamic?
Yeah, that is, and this is something I need to give a shout out to one of our co-founders, Dan Dombrowski. He is not part of the family. There's four co-founders, and he is not. And it is tough at sometimes, especially where our family spends a lot of time together outside of work. And you're like, or naturally, there's work conversations that pop up. I think the key is, yeah, trying to always keep them in the loop. But one of the ongoing jokes is, though, a lot of the times that it's the family talking, we're arguing about something. It's like you don't even want to be involved in those those family parts. So in general, it's not. We try to keep work is between everyone. I think I muted myself accidentally. There we go. So yeah, work. I think keeping all discussions kind of together in the so we have a co-founder chat, all of the communication we try to keep in there. So I think keeping people in the loop, and I think it's more sometimes the way you carry yourself. We just try to be family oriented. I try to act the same way I with my family that I do with everyone. Um, and yeah, I think just keeping the same standard of personality. They wouldn't like it if I carried the argumentative side through that I have with my brother, but we yeah, try to keep the same, just an equal level playing field for everyone.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think people are probably pretty lucky to be part of this, what I hope is a meteoric rise for your company. So, if you could give other leaders, whether young or not, but other leaders in general, some advice or some lesson that you've learned recently, what's top of mind for you?
It's definitely what's top of mind is the balance between, yeah, not having to move into areas confidently, especially with a small team. You're just going to have to make decisions and go for it. But how do you make those decisions? Being a younger leader, um, I would say try to take as much advice as you can from other people who are older around you. But then once you take it, be confident in it, believe in yourself, and kind of move toward that direction strongly. But yeah, sometimes I'm still working on all that.
Yeah, for sure. So, confidence is a big thing. A lot of people experience, imposter syndrome, or, they've otherwise had situations that they've encountered, whether they're women or people of color, or others often have situations where they're dismissed or they're discounted or whatever for various reasons. And so that can obviously impact your feeling or your confidence in a situation. So how do you work on your confidence generally?
Yeah, some of it I used to take meetings with older people on our team often just because I was like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to trust me. Um, Yeah, some being knowing your stuff, it helps. That will probably be the most confident if you feel like you know the topic inside and out. At some point, in the beginning, I think I was having people join because I didn't exactly know all the information about everything. But if you can spend some time learning that information, and then you'll go into a call one day and be like, "Wait, I think I know this all," and the other person is just kind of there as moral support for me. And so I think, yeah, knowing the information is probably the easiest real way to gain confidence. Past that, yeah, talk to people, ask people. People have always been very complimentary of me, which has been just kind of them. Just yeah, they're people are nicer than you think.
Yeah.
They say kind things to you if they see you're trying hard or trying into something new or scary territory. So listen to the compliments. Sometimes the negative things can ring a lot louder, even though you're receiving a lot of compliments. People in the automotive industry have been nothing but extremely kind, caring. I've had very few positive interactions. So maybe it's getting the automotive industry. Maybe that's how you gain confidence.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it couldn't hurt. I often say this. I think there's a place for everyone in the automotive industry. So it's definitely a great place to be. And as well as this, having coffee with you this morning has been a great place to be. So I appreciate it. Cheers. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks a ton for having me on, and excited to keep working with you and the rest of the RepairPal team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen.